Peace and greetings, y'all. Peace and greetings. Welcome to my channel. I am the common denominator. Thank y'all so much for connecting with me today. Yes, such an amazing day indeed. We are blessed. I am grateful. Grateful for y'all. Grateful to be able to connect with y'all today. The grace of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead is extremely abundant, and we are indeed forever grateful. Grateful to be able to be here in the now, experiencing a human body. Grateful that we can take out the time to share information, connect with each other, step out into nature, right? Such an amazing day. I am sure that y'all are blessed wherever y'all are at. I'm sure that you are protected, you are stress-free, you are not worried, because indeed, in truth and in spirit, there is nothing for us to worry about. We are aware that there are those who are constantly working tirelessly day and night, looking to make sure that we cannot have the peace that we would experience once we get to know everything indeed is situated in God consciousness. We know that there are those who are working tirelessly day and night, but we are not going to be worried, right? We are not going to be stressing off of that, because we know where our eternal resting place is at. I am the common denominator, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into the Chosen's Path. Whatever might have led you to the channel today, for all of the new visitors, just know I would like to welcome you officially, and please do subscribe to the channel. That way, whenever we have new content that drops, you are going to be able to just get it instantly. Hit that notification button, of course. I appreciate all the great comments. I appreciate all of the feedback. I appreciate all the love and truth. We are living in days when we are seeing the importance of communicating. It doesn't matter wherever we find ourselves at. We are seeing the importance of being able to step online and share information. And we are getting to see that a majority of the masses are vibrating at the same frequency of thought. But today, I am going to be touching on something that, if you are not truly mature in yourself, if you are not really on the Chosen's path, you might get worked up. You might get worked up on your insides. But I am hoping that you would be patient, listen, analyze it, and just keep in mind, it's just dialogue. We are just talking, right? We are letting the mind be free as it ought to be, without labeling or judging the thought process. We are just really being honest with ourselves, because we have gotten into the age where we must speak truth. We must hold on to truth. If we take out the time from our busy schedules, if we take out the time from the hustle and bustle, and we can shift our minds a little bit from worrying about the bills and worrying about what the media might be propagating, we shift and come within, we go within, and we start to analyze our thoughts. We would get to realize that a lot of our fears are not natural. We see that the human psyche has been conditioned, and there are those who truly understand the foundation of the conditioning, and they take advantage of the fact that we are ignorant of this truth, of how the word works inside our minds. There are those who sit behind the curtains. There are those who sit in rooms, and they understand the human psyche. They understand the human mind far much more than the average man would even begin to investigate. And with this, they project illusions, delusions, to make sure that we stay entangled every single day, chasing after things that are perishing. We stay chasing after things that are not getting us to realize the importance of human relations. And mind you, it is not an accident, because like I said, there are those who have gone deeper into the psychology of mankind. And they work tirelessly. They are banking on the fact that we will stay occupied. We will stay busy rather than taking out the time to shift and reflect on our own minds to see how they have intentionally created thought processes within our minds. They are 100 steps ahead of us. While we are here debating and fighting each other off of belief systems, while we are fighting each other off of what we think matters the most, they laugh, because it is working out just exactly how they planned it. Yes, it is up to us now to take it upon ourselves to shift within now and pay attention to our own thought processes. If we are not honest and humble within ourselves to realize that we have been programmed, we have been conditioned through the language system, through the number system, through words, through religious systems. The list goes on and on. And if we are not humble, I'm talking about us on this ground level, if we are not humble to start to realize this truth, by the time we are going to waken up to realize the great deception, we would be truly trapped. We would be right underneath their thumb. And we won't be able to do much about it, because we were under the impression that we had to wait for help, rather than realizing that we have everything we need on this planet to be able to assist each other. As long as we are breathing, as long as we can make sense out of thought, we truly can overcome certain obstacles that we think are in place, hindering us from being able to truly interrelate. It runs very, very deep, my dear brothers and sisters. I cannot even go as deep as I would love to. But I would like for each and every one of you out there to take it upon yourselves to start to reflect on the nature of your own thinking process. And be honest with yourself. The different belief systems that we have downloaded on our minds, and how those who are in higher places, the principalities in higher places, how they understand this. And every time they get together, they have these books under the table, because they are planning in conjunction with the program system that was instituted way, way before we can even begin to imagine. If we do not shift and wake up, by the time we get to realize the trick, it'll be on us. If we get online, we can see a lot of people are projecting a lot of fear-based messages. And that is exactly what those who constructed this whole matrix system, that is exactly what they want to see. They are utilizing artificial intelligence to collect data, analyzing the minds of the masses, analyzing the projections that we are projecting upon the internet. And they are able to strategize based off of the level of awareness that we are projecting. And that is why we have to be very, very smart with the way we move. And we also have to be very, very real with ourselves. Because the time has come when we have to realize that human behavior could be shaped by subtle elements and subtle forces and subtle devices. We would wonder why we are not well connected with our neighbors. We are not well connected in our families. And we think it is just an accident. We believe that it is the sign of times. But that is because we never really take out the time to sit back and analyze the hidden hand that is moving the pieces on the grand board. We do not get to see the hand that orchestrates the deception. And while we are caught up in wanting to make a comfortable living for ourselves, there are those who intentionally want us to stay on the hamster's wheel. And you get to see it very, very clearly. And the truth is, they are the ones. Now, when I say they, that's in quotes. They are the ones that are actually living in fear because they know that what they are doing indeed in truth is not right. Vibrating under the mode of greed. Vibrating under the mode of jealousy. They know that what they're doing is not right. They know that they have created a system in place that was never fair and was never meant to be fair from the very beginning. And you know, we all know that those who do wrong always live in fear of being caught. And this whole time, their fear is that we are realizing what they're doing. And that is why they are working tirelessly to make sure that we would not truly waken up within ourselves entirely to challenge them so they can take accountability for all of the atrocities that they have perpetrated upon this planet. It is this fear that they project upon us in different ways. And we see it very, very clearly. My dear brothers and sisters, I know y'all see it very, very clearly. And we will not be afraid because we were not given the spirit of fear. But we are saying it is now time. It is now time where these discussions must be held. We must truly summon the courage within ourselves to analyze the reality that we have found ourselves in and ask ourselves, is this truly the ultimate reality that we want to live in? A group of people who have selfish objectives cannot rule the planet and bring it to balance. Because we know the supreme personality of the Godhead that created this planet made sure that this planet was going to be able to accommodate all of his children without us ever having to go to bed hungry, without us having to feel like we need to roam about the planet and not have shelter, without us feeling like we need to live on a planet that is really populated, but yet we are feeling divided. They must own up to the wickedness that they have perpetrated on this planet. And I know that is their greatest fear. Their greatest fear is that they will have to own up to the wickedness, the evil that is in their hearts. How they decided to unleash sin into the world, hindering us from truly being able to connect with the Most High. That way we would always be vibrating at lower frequencies while they buy more time to develop their plan for massive control. Am I saying too much, my dear brothers and sisters? Are we going too deep with this video? It is not like I'm saying things that they don't know, right? They know, and we all know. But we also know that time is up. Nobody is running away from anything. The wicked run when nobody pursues them. It is their evil, their greed, that is getting them to flee. Can you imagine that we are all in our Father's house, and some of our own brothers would rather accumulate all of the resources to themselves and want us to beg in our Father's house for a daily meal? This planet is our Father's house. And some of our own brothers subjected their souls to greed, jealousy, envy, hatred, unnecessarily. They cannot even justify it for themselves, all because they refuse to do the work. And so they take it upon themselves to develop systems and initiate those who are willing to fellowship in the mode of darkness and ignorance, while the majority work tirelessly every single day. And whenever somebody tries to bring up the point of truth, they take it upon themselves to try to knock out the light. In their ignorance, they feel like they could knock out the light, but yet the light always resurfaces. The light bringer came with light, the light of knowledge. And they saw the light and they hated the light, because the light was revealing their modes of darkness. And now we are saying, isn't it time? Isn't it time even for them to be honest with themselves? Yes, it is the season. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this video at that. Thank y'all so much for listening and watching up until this very point. My dear brothers and sisters, it is an amazing time to be alive. I will remind you before I cut this off, fear not. For you deserve to be on this planet just as much as anybody else does. As long as you know you are moving with a clear conscience, as long as you know you want the betterment of all, and you are a part of the all, then you have nothing to fear. But since they have deliberately denied to do the work, they have also accumulated the karma upon themselves. And whatever the outcome is going to be for them, that is just what it's going to be. But the righteous will sit on the sideline and watch. Until next time, y'all stay blessed.